Hey guys, how's it going? Oh my god. Restarting. Starting the recording in 3, 2, 1. Hey guys, how's it going? It's Jayce Sensational here, and today we're back after a little hiatus of videos on this channel. But hopefully I'll start putting out a few more videos out. But today we have a deck guide on Zoe Lee, one of my decks that I've actually gotten to like quite a bit in the coming expansion, and I feel is still very, very strong in the right hands within this meta. So I will do my best to transfer all of my knowledge of the deck to you to make you a better player. And so without further ado, I hope you enjoyed the video, and let's jump into it. Alright, so let's start off by talking about the deck and the cards within it. I think the most notable addition since the last patch, and since pretty much the existence of this deck, is Solari Priestess. Now that Priestess is a 2-2, it has a much better stat line to be able to actually play in this deck, and actually can help us tutor out some really, really strong plays with that card. Otherwise, the main bulk of the deck itself hasn't changed much. We have, of course, Lee Sin and Zoe with a plethora of spells. The main goal of the early game is to use Gifts from Beyond to tutor Eye of the Dragon, stall out until the late game, and then you can drop like a Lee Sin and just kind of OTK your opponent with Overwhelm from Zenith Blade or Infernum off of Gifts from Beyond. And otherwise, we just have a lot of stall cards, such as Concussive Palm, Will of Ionia, Hush even, Guiding Touch, even Sonic Wave to pair with the Eye of the Dragon. Just really stall out the game, heal a bunch, and then drag the game out in order to get our combo off. We are a very, very control-oriented deck, and so we want to be focused on how can we slow out the game, but also try to progress our game plan at the same time, and that's where the balance of this deck really lies. Moving on, let's talk a little bit about win conditions, because when we associate a deck like Lee Sin Zoe to how does the deck win, it's often seen as Lee Sin kicking your opponent for 20 damage. And in some cases that will be the case. Lee Sin can still kill your opponent from 20 very easily, and that will be the case in certain matchups. But there will be matchups where Lee Sin can't reliably kill your opponent. And this is going to be because your opponent might have like a Hush, they might have a Concussive Palm, they might have Mini Morph, they might just have ways to just kill Lee Sin. And in some matchups, we really just can't rely on Lee Sin to carry the bulk of the weight. And that's where Zoe as a win condition really comes in. I think this is where the deck becomes an additional level harder, not only because leveling Zoe is a lot about resource management, about having the right cards to protect Zoe at the right time, being able to play around your opponent's cards, but there will be some games where you just simply don't draw Lee Sin and you're reliant on having a card like Zoe to help close out the games, because once Zoe flips, then you have access to a lot of things like the invokes off of Solari Priestess, you have the elusive off of Scattered Pod, or you have the Behold the Infinites off of leveled Zoe to really help just carry your game with like 2 Eyes of Dragons and a Zoe. And so it's really important to keep in mind your win conditions. If you are reliant on flipping your Zoe to win the game, you have to really go into it, because a lot of it is, oh, okay, my Zoe's a 1-drop, it took a lot of removal, and I'm okay with it dying. But you need it to level in this specific matchup, and if it doesn't happen, that's going to drastically change your game plan. With our win conditions in mind, this is just a quick step-by-step mulligan. Split into cards like Always Keep, Situational Keep, cards that look like bait, and cards that usually aren't good enough to keep. But generally, cards that I would always keep are cards like my champions, being Zoe, Lee Sin, and Gifts from Beyond. Gifts from Beyond is just such a really, really good card, even if you don't need Eye of the Dragon, just because it helps you cycle through your deck by pulling Eye of the Dragon out of your deck and making your future draws better. But it's also very flexible in the case that if you need like Gravitum or a Calibrum, you have that ability to keep in your opening hand. Not only does it do a lot for your deck, it's also 2 spells in 1 to help your Lee Sin, to help your Zoe just progress early on. Moving on to the situational keep, I have cards like Eye of the Dragon, Solari Priestess, and Concussive Palm. Eye of the Dragon's a very key card. It's so important. In fact, we're running 6 of them in our deck. Basically, we have the 3 Eye of the Dragons and the 3 Gifts from Beyond to pull them. So we've increased the consistency of being able to have Eye of the Dragon down on board, but in some matchups it's just simply not needed, and we have better ways of progressing our game plan. This is a card that's very situational, but will carry the game against any aggressive matchup. Then we have Solari Priestess. This card is super strong in our deck because it gives us that little bit of extra flexibility and additional use that the rest of the deck doesn't. And namely, being able to pull Falling Comet makes this card really, really important because we generally don't have any form of hard removal. So if this is against like Thralls, for example, being able to blow up a Thrall is super, super important. Being able to have the Comet to kill Sej is super, super important. Just in any other slower matchup, being able to get Written the Stars to pull Lee Sin, super, super important. And then finally, we have Concussive Palm. Generally, this card isn't one that I even think about keeping, but just in like more of the mid-range matchups, it's gonna come in handy. There's probably better cards, but there's probably worse cards as well. So this is kind of a little bit of a grade line. If you feel like this card could be good in some like the more mid-range matchups, then it's a considerable keep. Some cards I think are like bait keeps are cards like Guiding Touch, Zenith Blade, and Deep Med. These cards look appealing at first. Zenith Blade is like a tutor in the same sense that Gifts from Beyond is, thins out your deck. Guiding Touch is a proactive spell we could play, and Deep Med just draws us cards. So at initial glance, these cards look fine, but generally they're a bit too slow, and there's generally better cards in our deck to do what we want to do. We can play Zenith Blade early on, just to like make our Zoe survive a little bit better, but it's generally not a card we want to consider keeping. And then Guiding Touch, we could find a better card like Gifts from Beyond, and Deep Med, it could potentially brick out in our hand just because we don't want to be casting this card for 5, right? We need to be pretty efficient with our mana, and we need to activate in order to play for 3. So again, there's better cards to play before we want to play Gifts from Beyond. And then finally, we have just a plethora of spells that generally aren't good enough to keep, but in very situationally. If we're playing for a Zoe flip, then maybe we want to consider keeping Nope Fight if we have Zoe in hand, or just some way of protecting it, like a Pale or a Twin. But generally, you can mulligan these cards away and then draw them again, just because our deck is pretty much like 70% spells. And so it's a good likelihood that you'll draw some sort of buff card to protect your units early on, that you don't need to be keeping them in your mulligan. And then finally, maybe not finally, but this is probably the most important aspect of this deck that can be easy to mess up, or you can be put into awkward spots if you don't do this correctly. And that's being very deliberate with your spell casts. And what I mean by this is, against a lot of matchups, you're going to be dependent on activating Eye of the Dragons continuously in order to have the heal on attack turns and to have the defensive blockers on a defensive turn. And in order to do this, you need to be able to cast 2 spells pretty much every turn. And why this is difficult is you can't be casting, or you want to be planning in the sense that you don't want to be casting more spells than you need to. Because what's going to happen is if you cast more than 2 spells, you cast 3 spells, you cast a 4th spell in a turn, not only are you depleting your hand of spells, which you're going to need to activate Eye of the Dragon on the following turn, but you're also spending more mana. And what this happens is that it makes your next turn a lot less flexible in the case of how you want to be able to spend your mana. And you can become very, very restricted. If you spend too many spells on a wrong turn, then that might just screw up your following turns. And so it's very important to know, when do I need to activate the Eye of the Dragon? When is it necessary to play that second spell in order to activate Eye of the Dragon? Do I need the blocker? Do I need the heal? If not, maybe I should save it for another turn and where it's more important. And this is probably the most important aspect of this deck outside of being able to flip your champions. And then the second aspect is you needing to cast your spells. Unlike a control deck like Field Rush, for example, we can't simply pass like 10 turns and expect to win. Because in order to progress our win conditions, namely being either Zoe or Lee Sin, we actually need to be spending mana to do things. And so this is a deliberate, no, it's like a fine balance between passing and using our mana that kind of comes more into just when you get the practice with it. But if you're floating like 8 mana in a turn, then and you have like a guiding touch in hand, you want to be using it to cycle through your deck to cast those spells to progress your own game plan instead of just passing it back, because we actually do need mana in our deck. It's very, very important. And finally, I do want to talk a little bit more about the matchup tables of the deck. I think the best matchup for Lee Sin Zoe currently is against Draven Scion. This deck just really has a hard time against our deck, and I think it boasts probably one of the most polarized matchups in the meta right now. Even like a 70-80 to like 30-20 for Lee Sin. And this is because Scion just gets recalled with either the kick or like a Will of Ionia or just concussive palmed, and their early game just gets stifled by Eye of the Dragon completely. Now that they no longer have Challenger on their Twin Blade Revenant, they really don't have a realistic way of dealing with an Eye of the Dragon, and if you can find Eye of the Dragon early on, it's just very easy to stabilize. Some other really like solid matchups for the deck are matchups like Ziggs Poppy, pretty much any sort of aggressive slanting deck that doesn't have rallies or an elusives, and decks like Plunder or Thralls or other like slower mid-range things. And these are where things get a little bit more controversial, because against Plunder, some people feel like it's a good matchup for Plunder, but it requires a very good pilot on the Lee Sin side, and I do have some games for you guys that'll showcase just how exactly that matchup looks like. But Lee Sin as a deck is very, very strong in the right hands and can be very, I guess, weak if you are a much less experienced player, which is kind of the downside of the deck. It's a very high skill ceiling deck, and it requires a lot of practice into learning how to pilot the deck. And so some of these matchups, you might struggle a little bit more, especially with a deck against like Plunder, which is a very, very skill-intensive matchup, or reliant on them just not drawing enough Sejuanis. But where the decks, where Lee Sin struggles a little bit more is against the Poppy Rally deck. This is probably one of the worst matchups for it. It's just very hard to deal with the elusives, the ongoing pressure, and the rallies. And so it's probably one of your worst matchups. But other bad matchups for this deck historically are just decks that can deal with Lee Sin quite easily, these being the Banner Tree, being the Darkness, but those are the matchups where if you can flip Zoe, then you still have a pretty good chance of winning the game. I do have a couple of games that I want to showcase for you guys. These will showcase how this deck will win in different scenarios, those where I level up Lee Sin, those where I level up Zoe, those where I don't even draw Lee Sin. So I got some really cool games to showcase for you guys. So stick around for that if you really want to see the deck in action and to reinforce some of the things that I showcase for you guys in this deck guide. So just knowing when to cast your spells, knowing when to pass, and knowing when to progress for which level up and which win condition. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please leave a like and a subscribe, and I should be back with another deck guide in the coming week. But without further ado, I'll leave you guys to the games. See you guys later. What's it? Parabens? Is that the Portuguese translation? Okay. Maybe we should have played around like parlay, but well, never punished. Merchant. Had a lot of difficulty getting Masters this season. Yeah. I'm playing on an alt like right now, and I'm like struggling in like Diamond. But like at the beginning of the season, I like, cruised to Masters like pretty well. So Fear's looking out, I guess. Should attack now just to get the proc. I do want to play Solar Priestess this turn, but if he has like a Maker range, I want it before I just slam the Solari down. Okay, cool. Just played this. It's 3 Jayce, don't have it. What is it? Oh, boo-hoo. I wanted to obliterate, didn't find it, which sucks. I guess I can play another one. How am I getting my spells played is a really good question. Like, how am I playing spells this game, eh? Jayce Caitlyn. Oh, I saw that. Or at least I saw something similar. Like, this was the reason, like, the one reason if I wanted to take, the meteor shower. Comet. Like, if I had meteor shower this turn, just kill 2 things, and then that's pretty good, like, tempo-wise. Like, in this case, he can go, like, even wider, which kind of sucks. They have good blocks, at the very least. We need to get this Eye of the Dragon moving. Yep. Taking 6 is... How do we play 2 spells? Guiding touch off the top, please. Hell. Moonglow? Already moonglowing our Eye of the Dragon? Is that our second spell? It's like if he plays Gangplank, that's like the best case scenario for us, right? Worst case scenario, he tries to like harpoon our Eye of the Dragon, which then forces us to play 3 spells, which I'm not super happy about. But now it's fine, we just moonglow and we're pretty happy. I have a Comet for Sej. We're looking alright here. Just need to find Lee Sin. Now, this turn I can play my Deep Med. Try to get things going. We have 9 mana. I can Deep Med Pale plus Palm. Which is pretty darn good, honestly. Kind of want to keep this alive. I don't really want to Naked Pale either. I could. Is Naked Pale just better? Lets me Palm plus Twin Disciplines, which maybe saves my eye from like a harpoon. Ugh, I already have so much draw, right? We'll just Naked Pale. Kinda sucks, but I think it's better for our mana. This even lets us like play Golden Sisters if we really wanted to, but it's not really the turn for that. Here's a Gangplank. It's like we just palm Gangplank now. So we're Comet it. We need Comet Sej, right? But we don't have Lee Sin either. It's kind of bizarre, eh? We do need to play a second spell this turn. That's like... I know for sure. What if he attacks? Like, we just like twin block here, no? Like, we can stun this and then twin block that. That's so good, no? Like, he's not gonna pass. He's gonna at least attack with the 2/2. And this gives us some pretty good options of how we want to block this out. Nice. I think this worked out pretty well. And then we can still twin this turn, go into like Golden Sisters next turn or something. We have the Dragon Link coming out too. And then we saved... Ooh, Sonic Wave is so good. Oh, that's so good too. So this worked out pretty well. We might need to open in case of Sej. So like if we play 3 Golden Sisters, he drops Sej. We're kind of in trouble. So maybe we just go for the Sonic Wave onto here. We don't beat like a Make It Rain, which sucks. Makes me tempted to play Golden Sisters. If he drops Sej, we have this, we shouldn't be dying, but he allows him to open attack. We can palm it. I guess that's fine. It's tough. And like, we still need a Sonic Wave if we want to cast 2 spells. Deals 2. Not hitting face is fine. Maybe we don't need to cast 2 spells. That's kind of sketchy. If we heal this 4, we're kind of fine. I think we're chilling. Sure. If we're not playing 2 spells, there's no need to rush. If he goes for the Make It Rain, we have the Guiding Touch to back us up. Okay. Again, we can't really get 2 unless we Sonic Wave. I'm not super happy about, so it's fine. We'll always have enough land blockers here. If we take 2 at max, that's not that bad. Probably winning this game though. We Scattered Pod him to Leaf Death. Sucks a bit. This does need to get commented though. We can even heal this with Guiding Touch, and that might just like save us. Is that better than like this Guiding Touch is like 4 heal, right? Technically, because we can palm the zap. Now do we need a palm instead? So like, say we Guiding Touch. Yeah, that's tough. We just need a palm then. If he has a Make It Rain, we just accept their fate. But he would have Make It Rain last turn, so that means most likely a warning shot. That's kind of how it is, huh? Okay, so it's just a warning shot. Oh jeez, that's brutal. So he pulls this way, that's fine. We take 2, that's fine. We don't really beat another champion, huh? What am I looking for here? Like, I can find Deny in case he rips like a fucking Feel the Rush. He still has 1 card from me. I can only assume to be like a Palm or a Hush. Like, I can find Palm, which is good. I can find Deny, which could be good. I can find Nopify, which stops a Harpoon. Burst draws me draw, most likely. I can just split it here, I guess. I draw 1 fast here. Nopify is probably the least useful. Ooh, okay, interesting. How are we beating Sej next turn, eh? We just hope he can't proc anymore. Like, we'll palm the Sej, and that's like dandy. And then we just hope he doesn't have any more ways of like pinging our Nexus. Like, maybe we're supposed to save that for when he eventually needs to ping our Nexus. Kiss from beyond. He's gonna. Oh god, he's just gonna shoot my. Ugh, that's brutal. We're gonna take a lot of damage next turn. Oh god, we're taking so much damage next turn. Oh, how are we killing him? What's his health total at? So he's at 14. We have 10. We have lethal. We need to survive here, and that's it. Is it better to play this and then palm? I guess it's the same. So we should be alive here, which is all that matters. And then we need him to not top deck a Make It Rain or a warning shot. And then we just play second pod, and then we just look for Deny. You go fast, look for Deny. Oh, but he healed. Fuck. Oh my god, we no longer have lethal. I guess we have to Zenith. Oh, that's not Deny. Oh. Oh, but that's lethal. Alright, well, I guess. If he has it, right? If he has it, he has it. If he doesn't, we're chilling. We counted correctly. And yeah, let's go! Woo! Imagine that, huh? The list looks pretty stock. Maybe I'll have to play some Scion. What am I playing? You again? No Thrall on turn 1, but I don't have my priestesses. I do have Lee Sin. I think it's worth here just to look for Moonglow. Oh, but if I get Moonglow, I can't play it. Because I need to keep Twin up. And now I can get Avalanched. I can Twin after that, I suppose. Okay. Yeah, that was a mistake. Because now we do have to Twin. And then we sort of lose to Avalanche. Not like lose to Avalanche, we get denied, I guess. And maybe we're fine then. But this was probably wrong. I just miscounted my mana and that's on me. But now this is pretty simple. If he plays anything, we can just Moonglow. We just slowly start spending mana, I guess, huh? Okay, now I can Moonglow safely. We can even like crescendum this right now. I think we should just Moonglow though. And this should like pretty much guarantee our flip on Zoe. Now I think it's just more important to worry about mana. We need to level Zoe as fast as we can, and that's just down to how much mana we have. But what's my turn? Am I playing Crescendum this turn? Am I just playing Lee Sin? If I play Lee Sin, I can't kill his Lissandra. I can like Star Chart find something. That's fine. So I'll attack first, Crescendum into Star Chart. Hope he doesn't have like... hope he doesn't have... Maybe we're supposed to Star Chart first, look for more Equinoxes. Okay. Worst case scenario, he has Talia. If he doesn't, then we're kind of chilling.
What is gained when you return malevolence?
Alright. It's a little annoying. I guess we just deny that, hey? Six. Oh, Palm is really good. Palm is 7. Lee is 8. Guess that's okay. I can play Lee Sin just to block now, because I can get or I can get the barrier if he tries to pop this. Okay. I still have the barrier. This is fine. Because there's no way to pop my barrier with 2 mana. And we can chump block for relatively free. And then we can look for Equinox as well. So we'll do something like this. Look for Equinox. We don't find it. But this is Overwhelm on our Lee Sin. That's kind of nuts. And then here, I guess we could have took Infernum. Same thing. But we can Gravitum one of these, and that sort of works the same. So Gravitum is going to go Zoe to 8 or 9, and then charge her to 10. And then that might just be lethal as well. Because there's on... Oh, it's only on 7? Okay, we need one more then. next turn when they have 7 mana, so this is kind of tight actually. We might not get there here. Ideally we can flip on Charger. Oh. That works. So we Gravitum... We'll Gravitum the smaller one. No, we want to kick Lissandra, right? So we'll do here. And then we can Sonic Wave into Charger. Oh, that's insanely sick. But if he has a freeze, do you just want to kick the Thrall? I think it's a little bit greedy trying to go for lethal now and go for Lissandra. It's fine. We'll just take things slow. So we have a Hush and a Palm. It's very hard for him to get through. He doesn't have any more access to Thralls. And then we have the Scattered Pods coming up soon for Elusive as well. So it should look pretty good. We're going to be healing next turn off of the Eye with the Lee as well.
Our enemies cannot hide.
Just Entomb? Just Entomb what? Like my Lee Sin? And then we just kick his Thrall.
Prepare yourself.
Oh, could foil us? Well, I mean, we're not getting foiled, yeah. Like, Entomb just slows us down by a turn. Like, we're in like a leading position here. Just going for draw. Lee's not leveled, so it's not scary. Him drawing cards is fine. Worst case scenario just has an Entomb, but we need to go wide and like Scattered Pod it up. But getting like lifesteal and everything is like really key. Second's always good as well. Probably need to play, but we can also just like find a spell shield thing off of here, and that like solves most of our problems beyond this Ice Shard. But like hitting like a Great Beyond or anything like that is just really good.
This temporary reprieve is reward for your service.
Yeah, that's just kinda GG.
Stinging cold.
It just like splits up his attention too much. Like he has to worry about the Great Beyond because it presents 10 if you like, and then there's like the Lee Sin. I don't have a spell. I guess that's an issue, huh? Like he has to open Ice Shard and then he has to like spend mana doing stuff. If he avalanches into Ice Shard just to kill like these 1/1s, then that's gonna set him back as well. I don't have like a spell besides his Hush. I really want to use this Hush for something better. So he's gonna wipe my board, and then I'm not gonna be able to push lethal. But he can't entomb my Lee Sin, so he's not gonna wipe my board. Like worst case scenario, he just like Ice Shards into Avalanche, which he's not looking like he's doing. Like this is Ice Shard Avalanche or something, right? Yeah. And then I just have lethal, because he's gonna play this, like freeze this, I just hush this back and it's lethal. So this should just be lethal. Like he ice shards and then like freezes this and then I hush it. And that's just dead. Yep. Man, these games have been good, huh? Not allowed. Looking for Zoe, looking for I, looking for Deny. We keep Solari. I don't know if we do. Solari's kind of slow. I could like blow up a Lux. Not sure how much that matters. I think there's better cards I could find, like a lead or a Zoe or a Deny. This hand kind of sucks. Not blocking with our 2 to actually save our lead. Oh, because it would have got the Fury proc, yeah. What the hell? Where were you last turn? No, Mystic Shot. Because it would have had 1 more damage, yeah. Oh, it would have had 2 more damage because of the... It would have had 2 more because of the thing. Yeah. Because of the Dragon Guard. Whatever it's called.
I fight with my spirit, not my fists.
What the fuck?
Let me know if you still want them science lessons, Jayce. Will do, Axel. Yes, my lord.
Am I activating this deep med? Do I just guiding touch now? Deep med next turn? Huh.
The dragon lives.
He doesn't block the 3-2 with Jayce ever, yeah? Nice. Sucks if he plays a 6 cost spell and I can't like deny it because I don't have a deny and he goes for it, but I don't have a deny. Funny how that works, huh?
Let's get to work.
I need to find Lee Sin, man. Do I care about taking 6? Not particularly. I just like start calibrumming these. What if he has back to back? Oh. I'm actually kind of getting tempoed out. Maybe I should have played out or played guiding touch. Like I could have like went I guiding and have a 4 wide board this turn. Oh. Oh shit. That sucks. Oh, that's gonna level his Jayce. What the heck? I can shoot this, and then I can will the Jayce. Because he's gonna play this, right? Do I just will his Jayce? That's so bad, though, jeez. Oh, he's not gonna do it? What is this card then? Holy shit, dude. Hello, what's going on? Where's my deny? Oh lord.
This is the cutting edge of progress.
What the fuck is this? Do you want to pass back, buddy? I'll take a pass back.
Let's get started.
Darn. How am I losing to this deck? What the hell is this start? Double this card? Assembly line? It's kind of nuts, huh?
We each hold a world within.
I can kill his Jayce, I guess, with the Sonic Wave. And hope he doesn't have, like, another spell. It's, like, my only chance right now. Guess we're not really technically dying anytime soon, as long as he can't kill my Eye of the Dragon. We're not technically winning either. We want to get semantical.
I fight with my spirit, not my fists.
Jayce is kind of good into Eye of the Dragon, huh? Pawn is a good draw. This kind of sucks. If he has like a Mystic Shot, it's kind of over. If he has a Sharp Side, kind of sucks. Oh, really? Wow, that's sick. It's actually nuts. Because now I can't play Jayce plus 6 cost spell. You can play Lux plus 6 cost spell next turn. Bro, what is this? Stop. I don't know what's going on. Oh, Deny's insane. Holy shit. Alright, we just bought ourselves like 2 turns. Lee Sin, where's my Lee Sin? Yeah, that's not happening, buddy. I think this is the best spell to deny. And I think we're chilling now for a couple turns. Really, still attacking? I guess it makes sense for him to attack. This is like a single. I really want to pale like this 3-2 to trade in here, but if he singles, I need pale. Yeah, I need pale this. Kinda sucks, but you gotta do what you gotta do, you know? Oh, Zoe, let's go. So what can we like infer about his hand? If he had Sharp Side, he'd always play it, right? If he had Mystic Shot, he'd always play it. That leaves what, like Lux? If he had a second Jayce, he'd probably play it first. I don't know what his hand is, honestly. It's kind of hard to read. I'd assume like potentially like a Lux. It's not like a combat trick. It's not like a Mystic Shot. It's not removal. Could be like another 6, like the 6 cost that like double pings. We're never playing around Sharp Side at this point. And then there's the 2 top deck cards. Like I assume these are like super clunky Lux plus 6 cost spell stuff. So we go Priestess into 2 spells. Oh, he has oh, so one of his cards is also the 6 drop from Flash or Brilliance, no? So he has a 6 drop card here. Ring the Stars is a spell and finds us Lee Sin. Cast you. Find Lee Sin. And then cast you. Find Serpent. Serpent better than Crescent? No. Alright, we're looking pretty solid. Let's go. How do we win this game? Holy crap, I was so scared. Crescent's nasty? Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't assume he can get like fucking like it's not gonna be like overwhelm or anything. Like, this isn't scary at all. And then I can just get the overwhelm thingy.
Back, heretic. Your lesson begins.
I win next turn, I don't care about you. Maybe I care about you. I care enough about you, I think. Playing Lee Sin could be inting. Let's do that next turn. I don't want to lose like a random concerted strike. It was pretty safe to play Scattered Pod, but I think this is the best play out of everything. Now we have the Will of Iona, his board's no longer buffed. He wants to like have some like strike spells. It's not really gonna go through.
Only I can endure the dragon's fury.
And then we have Will plus Infernum plus Twin. Oh, that's perfectly 9. Best case scenario, he can like single combat the target that I kick. And then he'd survive at 1, but then I'd kill him. If he concerteds, I have the Will for the 6/6. This is looking pretty solid.
The enemy quivers with fear.
Oh, we're so close to flipping the Zoe, we're just 1 off, huh? Alright. God, I was so fucking scared. He had such a strong opener, too. Oh, dragons. No one's allowed to play dragons on my ladder. This hand could be better. So we do this, we deep men next turn, find Lee Sin, win the game, something like that.
What is gained when we return malevolence?
We wear red to honor the fall.
It's kind of annoying. Maybe we draw like a pale cascade. Oh, that's really annoying.
They will burn like we did.
Let's look at our pale, yeah. Make him burn like I need to cast this turn. It's kind of not an option. No pale, I guess we just palm you instead. That's gonna feel pretty shitty. I don't really want to do that. But I can't lead this as a 3-1. The alternative is a twin here. It also feels kind of shitty. Kinda sucks. We have another palm, I think it's fine. But it still kind of sucks. Once a single combat, that's bad too. At least it's a single combat out. Really wanted pale there. Like at least trade like a sharp sight at the very least. Good draw.
Sunlight guided my
Now we just need to find our Lee Sin. Okay. Okay.
I am more than this.
More than culpable, filthy worm.
Once we find Lee Sin, we're fine. Oh. Nice. So now we find Zenith. We save this gifts for a we'll save the gifts for a whatchamacallit. Question is, do we need to use Palm here? And I think the answer is no. We can just take like 7 damage. Letting Shyvana level is kind of annoying. Maybe we should Palm now. If we Palm, we can also Twin to kill that. We need Twins, like, we need to kill him somehow, eh? I'm just gonna Palm and Twin the dragon, I think. Shot level's too big. It's annoying. I have like the Notify, but it's definitely annoying. Like, I'm pretty situated where it doesn't particularly matter. Or at least I try to race. But it's definitely annoying for sure. Okay, there's Zenith. Alright, we have what we need. We just need to not randomly sack our cards to stuff. With Deny, we play around a good amount already. We could pass, but we need to play spells. It's very hard to play spells. Like, we could, like, shoot this, but it's not particularly good. If we play this and he concerted, he can't kill my Lee Sin this turn. I can't flip my Lee Sin either. Like, this is like a weirdly safe turn to play Lee Sin. He plays, but if he plays dragon into dragon, we have to OTK him, which we currently can't do. This is really awkward, eh? So we can slow roll this then. We need to be casting spells. Oh, that's nuts. That's nuts. What?
Shape the skies and mold the earth.
But now he can't play Lee Sin. But now he can't play. He can't do his thing. But now we're kind of not able to do our thing. How do we play a second spell this turn? I don't really want to play a second spell. I'll just chuck you out as a blocker. It's fine. We play Lee Sin next turn, we have Deny, and then we just stick a Zenith. He's chosen not to play Dragon to Dragon, and he's open attacking. I mean, I don't see how this ends well for you, buddy. Like, if you want to give this Overwhelm, that's kind of fine. I don't want his Lee Sin to be able to trade into here for free. Oh, I guess it already trades free. I mean, health total doesn't matter here. We're killing him next turn, or at least trying to. Like, we play Lee Sin. If there's a Concerted, we have the Deny. We have the Notify. We just can't, like, randomly Zenith our Lee Sin, because then it just gets single combated, and then Concerted struck, and then we lose. Strafing, eh? I want to play 2 spells that's not Notify, but I can't play the Sonic. It's kind of awkward, I'm forced to Notify it. That sucks. Oh wait, our Lee Sin leveled. Alright, this is wrong. I should have just played Gifts, I guess. And then he'd have to spend a buff, because it levels and then he can't kill it directly, and then he'd spend a buff and then I'd gotta do other stuff. So that was a slight mistake. But we just kill him now. He's gonna Concerted, we have to Deny, and then we have the Twin. If he has double Concerted, do we lose? No. I mean, I didn't do the math, but I think the answer is no. Like, I just played 2 spells onto Lee Sin and he's not gonna die. And then I still have mana to Deny plus Twin. Yeah, buddy pal. So if he has another concerted, we're still fine. Nice. I mean, yeah. And lines up perfectly because we needed that damage. Alright, get out of my game.
Prepare yourself.
Ooh. Maybe I'll make a guide. I have some really banger games.